Talk to me. WSRadio.com.
Welcome to Performance in Motion with your host, Dr. Deniz.
Okay, folks, we're back for our third segment. I'm here with Mr. Ron Alleger, former football player, baseball player, and golfer, and business professional. What's up, Ron?
What an introduction! I'll tell you, I don't know if I can live up to all that.
Hey, it's the truth, man. We don't play games here. Would love to get into real quick about your coaching techniques with your son, because I want parents to learn out there what works as far as creating a positive mental attitude.
Well, there's a lot of things that goes into that. And I think the first thing that most parents have a hard time realizing is the true realization of the ultimate, how talented their kid is.
Yes.
And accepting that. When I was coaching, we'd go to seminars, and there was basically 3 levels of kids for their motivation. Obviously, there's the motivated kid who really likes the game, can play the game, and he wants to be out there.
Yes.
Then you have the second child who says, all my friends are doing it. I'm not really all that good, but I want to be with my friends.
Right.
So he plays.
Gotcha.
And then there's the third kid. And the third kid's there because mom and dad said you got to get out and get some fresh air, so you're going to go play baseball. And that poor kid is out there, fear
Yes.
of being put in the game and failing at something and then not being accepted by the rest of the kids.
Absolutely.
And in Little League, you're required to play the kid at least 3 outs and have at least 1 at bat.
Okay.
And that's fine. And if the coach does it well, then he can put him in a position where he's not going to hurt the overall performance of the team.
Right.
And that way he can go out and say, okay, I played, I didn't hurt anything, and I can sit on the bench and cheer my friends on and be great.
Yes.
But when you get out there and the parents are saying, why isn't my kid starting? Why isn't my kid playing all innings? Why isn't and you got to be realistic with them. Say, look, it's hard enough for him to get here.
Yes.
And it's obvious by his attitude that he really would rather be home watching the Weather Channel. All right? And that's no disrespect, because there are certain kids that are more cerebral than they are athletic.
Yeah, that's true.
And you just simply want to accept them for who they are. Allow them to say, okay, I'll go and watch my friends play and cheer from the stands.
Nice.
And they're going to take me out. We're going to go and have, hot dogs and, soda and ice cream later with the rest of my friends.
Gotcha.
It's all okay.
Right, right.
Don't make it be a babysitting thing for you. These kids are emotional at this time, and they have a hard enough time being accepted in their peer group. But to be forced to do something that they're really not good at, nor do they really want to do, is really tough. Not only tough on the kid, but tough on the coaches and tough on the other kids.
Yeah, I actually got to see an instance that you're describing in ice hockey. Growing up very close to where you were, so I can talk like this too.
Yeah.
I had a little 7-year-old, and this kid was so talented. Talking about cerebral, he was on Sesame Street. He was almost at the professional level for playing a violin.
Wow.
He was unbelievably talented. I don't know what his IQ was, several hundred or whatever it was. And his dad was an IT guy who, made a lot of money and bragged about how much he made. And he said, hey, I want you to work with my son. Now, the kid couldn't get from one end to the ice to the other, which was a 20-foot surface. And in 1 year, he made 5 travel teams. So here's the great thing. I'm not beating my chest saying what good of a coach I was. This kid had phenomenal talent and the ability to process, because I was able to make it a positive environment, a learning environment, an acceptance environment that you're speaking about, which is so key. If we look at child psychology and normal psychological principles, that's what's there. So you did it inherently, which is amazing.
Well, it's one of those things that, as a parent, and I grew up with a dad who was actively involved in what I did. He helped coach me as a little leaguer and so forth. And I made it a a point in my life that when my son was to that age, I was going to be there and help coach because I wanted to make sure it was done the right way. And when you're coaching, you got to go to the seminars. You got to go and learn about injury. You got to learn about, this is the proper motion to do so you don't hurt the kid. And then you have to be able to say, look, your kid's not a pitcher. If he throws that way, he's going to hurt himself.
True.
I'm not going to let him do that.
So let me just recap. So you
Yeah.
actually have to put some effort in and continue to learn and get educated.
Yeah, you do.
Really?
Yeah, it's even though you've played a long time, you have some certain basics, but when it comes to the child, it's a totally different animal. These kids have emotions. I mean, when you're an adult, you can tell the guy, hey, what? You're not really good.
Right.
Go away.
Yeah.
And they deal with it and they move on. That's life. But with the child growing up, they want to succeed at everything. They
Yes.
want their parents' approval. And that's unfortunately where that little kid who really doesn't want to be out there, he'll go out because mom and dad want him to be out there. And, he does his time. And as the next league that goes up, he drops out. And then there's that culling of talent as you grow up each time. It's
Right.
like by the time you get to college and you go out for the team and you start talking to the other players, everybody's an all-star.
Oh, absolutely.
Everybody's played, some upper level, travel team, whatever. And you go, oh, my God, how am I going to do? And that's when the cream of the crop rises.
Yeah, this keeping up with the Joneses is actually an illusion. And a lot of parents, especially, I've seen in the suburbs, whether it's Jersey, New York, California here, they think they can buy their way. And it doesn't work like that.
No, it's unfortunate, but sports is sports, and fortunately, when I coached my kid, and I taught him. In fact, one of the biggest life experiences that my son had was he was playing in the All-Star team, and we were playing a team out of Escondido, and we lost. And he went in and pitched the final 2 innings, and we lost on an error by the shortstop. And we come off the field. And he sees his teammates, some of them crying. I mean, we're talking 12-year-olds. And he looks at me and goes, Dad, he says, why are they crying? I said, I don't know, Matt. What do you think? He says, I don't know. He says, all you ever taught me was give it everything I have, win or lose. As long as you gave it everything you had, it's okay.
Right.
And I just watched him grow from a 12-year-old to a 27-year-old before my eyes. Wow. It was an incredible moment for me because I only taught him, give him your best effort. That's all it is. Just give it your best effort. Win or lose, you leave it all on the field. You come off a winner.
Something so simple, but not really. There's complex components that lead someone to have that attitude. And at that age to have that is phenomenal. I don't know 40 or 50-year-olds that have that amazing champion attitude. And again, how many people out there in their individual sports, businesses, school careers are literally giving 100% all the time?
Well, the times have changed.
Right.
Matt's 31 now. We're talking, 19 years ago now?
Yep.
And it's changed a lot. You look at their idols. Their idols don't give out 100%. You watch professional baseball players. They hit a ground ball in the infield. You don't see a lot of them legging it out to first base.
Definitely not.
They give up on it. They assume they're an out. And a lot of times they are, but they're not giving it the full effort.
No.
And that's unfortunate because you see that attitude reflect right down to Little League now.
Yeah, absolutely. I was really fortunate. Growing up, we didn't have money growing up. So I played roller hockey at 10 years old because it didn't really cost much. And we're kind of spoiled out here in San Diego. There's beautiful palm trees and grass. I dealt with cement. And you get pretty tough when you fall or you get hit. And so basically, I had a dream of being a pro hockey player, and everybody laughed at me. And my dad said, well, we don't have the money, so you need to get a job. And I kind of thought for a second and said, well, what would be the best? And I got a job at a rink in Manhattan that was very close to Madison Square Garden. And I worked about 8 hours, 10 hours a day and went to school and studied the best people out there. And my original introduction to ice skating was ice dancing and professional figure skating. And I said, how do they move so gracefully like that? Let me keep that in there. And then I started watching the hockey players that skated in a finesse pattern versus just being fast in one direction. So that's what I want to be like. And to be honest with you, the first 3 years I was a pylon. Okay, so I didn't have the success that you had, or maybe even your son. There's no way. But I got to tell you, after that third year hit, I was playing against D1 guys coming in from Boston, Minnesota, and I mean, these guys were, a lot of them were draft picks, and I was better. And at 22, I made it to the St. Louis Blues AAA team. And what an amazing experience that was. Unfortunately, there was a bunch of injuries, but I have no regrets. I traveled to Europe. I played against pro and Olympic teams.
Oh, yeah.
In Italy, France, and Switzerland. I did a commercial with Bob Uecker.
Yes.
It was phenomenal. So I have no regrets. And that fire and that discipline and giving it all carried over to school and work and everything else. So,
well, it shows a lot in what you do now.
Thank you. And you'll get your referral endorsement for that.
Okay, I'll watch for my dollar.
Well, listen, in our next segment, Ron is going to be kind enough to share why he contacted me, what his experience has been, and how he's progressed through our system. But it's a collaborative system, which really has a lot to do with Ron's personality and who he is. So anyway, this is 3 segments done, and we got one more to go. And this is Dr. Dennis with Performance in Motion. And you're listening to WSRadio.com, the worldwide leader in Internet talk.
Hi, this is Rob Barnett, CEO and founder of VinVillage.com and the Wine and Dine Show on Vin Village Radio. Do you have a wine, event, product, or service to promote? Then contact VinVillage.com to reach thousands of wine lovers across the country. Vin Village connects like-minded wine enthusiasts with unique and exclusive wines, events, products, and services. To learn more, contact us on VinVillage.com. Vin Village is where wine lovers connect.
Life is full of misadventures, from car crashes to home fires to getting choked out on the mat. Yes, I said getting choked out because I'm Carlos Kramer, jiu-jitsu competitor, MMA and media personality, and mild-mannered insurance agent. You can follow my adventures on Kick-Ass Radio, and I can protect you from life's misadventures at Kramer Insurance. Home, auto, life, business, and workers' comp. We're at KramerINS.com, and I want you to join my world.
You've heard me bragging about Progressive Medical Center and how they've helped me feel so much healthier. But one thing, Dr. Agoli, that a lot of people come to you with is just unexplained pain. They just can't get any relief. Why can Progressive Medical Center's Pain Management Center help them?
First of all, we have to acknowledge that pain is for real, and you've got acute pain and chronic pain. Here's the problem. That acute pain turns to chronic, which is long-standing, and no one's getting to the root cause. There's several key diagnostic components that help us get to the root of what's causing this pain. Is it inflammation? Once we do a thorough evaluation to get to the root cause, determine if it's structural or if it's a metabolic issue. And this way, we put an individualized program for pain management involving correcting the spine, using certain injections when necessary, and we get our patients out of pain quicker, and they stay out of pain because we teach them how to live their life well.
Don't let yourself live in pain any longer. Get a hold of Progressive Medical Center today at ProgressiveMedicalCenter.com.
Progressive Medical, this is your life, live it well.
Nowadays, internet devices are an integral part of your home. Everyone in your family has a smartphone, tablet, or a computer. Life is easier knowing that all your devices are secured and your family can surf the internet carefree. ESET Multi-Device Security Pack does just that. One license for all your devices. With ESET, it's simple to stay protected and save money. Enjoy safer technology with ESET Multi-Device Security Pack at ESET.com. That's ESET.com.
You take your smartphone almost everywhere you go. Now WSRadio.com can be there too. Search WS Radio in the Play Store for your Android devices or iTunes for Apple and download the WS Radio application. WSRadio.com on your phone and in your ear everywhere you go. download the WS Radio application. Do it now. It's very easy. WSRadio.com.